So let's start with the Maya graphical user interface in Maya application. Maya is an incredibly powerful software that you can use to create almost everything you can imagine. The purpose of this session is to help you to become familiar with the basic user interface and the feature of Maya so you can start creating beautiful works or 3D artwork. When you first open Maya application, you will see this one dialog box here. To disable this, in window you have a feature. Click on the checkbox at the button and next time when you will open the Maya application, this startup option would be here. Navigating the Maya viewport. When Maya opens, you will see a 3D view with a blue and gray gradient background. This is called a viewport and it is where all our 3D graphics, 3D objects, cameras, light, background and anything are created with the help of Maya application. You can use the Alt B to change the background of the viewport, or you can use the window setting and preferences display background gradient also to change the other display setting such as the grid and axis XYZ. So let's create a basic 3D object into our viewport so we have something to look at. Go to the Create Polygon option under the top menu and click and drag to create a sphere. Or vice versa, you can create a box or several standard primitives you can create with the help of these menu options. Make sure that interactive creation is checked on the polygon primitive menu, else what will happen when you hit onto the polygon sphere, then automatically the sphere polygon would be created into the center of the grid, that is 0, 0, 0 coordinate system. To move around in our viewport, we have few mouse navigations. You can use the Alt and left mouse button to tumble the view. You can use the Alt and middle mouse button to track the view. You can use the Alt right mouse button to zoom in or zoom out or the dolly the viewport in or out. You can also use the scroll wheel or hold the left middle mouse button to zoom in zoom out the viewport also. These tools are also available in the menu at top to our viewport under View Camera Tools. Sometimes we want to see our model from different views to get different perspective on the things to lay out the geometry properly. Hit the spacebar. Quickly you can swap the one viewport to the four viewport, that is, you can individually hit the single perspective view to four viewport including the top, front, side and into the perspective viewport. Vice versa, when you roll over the mouse into any viewport and when you hit the spacebar, that viewport would be the maximize. Tap the spacebar while hovering with any viewport, minimize or the maximize that viewport. Note that if you have hold the spacebar, the hotbox option would also pop up. This special menu will be come to play later on. We can do all facility, we can do entire controlling of Maya menu sheet with the help of hotbox also. The three basic dimensions in three-dimensional space are X, Y and Z axis. The top, front and the side viewports allow to see our scene without geometry distortion as is seen into the perspective viewport by default to simulate the virtual camera. You can use the F keyboard button to frame selected object or you can say the focus selected object into the current viewport. You can use the A shortcut to frame all objects into the current viewport. The Maya user interface. The Maya user interface setting and preferences allow you to change the several settings with the help of Maya setting and preferences options. including interface and UI elements. You can use the interface or UI element to change or disable or enable the various UI elements. There is an option called the display kinematic manipulator polygon. You can use this option to display the size of different UI elements. You have an option called the setting camera. Setting camera can use to change near clip, far clip, or the distance of the object seen to disappear as they approach to the virtual camera. Setting rendering. With the help of setting rendering, you can change the default renderer to software, to mental ray, to hardware, to the toon render. Settings undo. You can use the settings undo to maximize the number of undo levels also. But when you increase the number of undo level, it costs using more memory or your computer may be little slow also. Creating Maya projects. For creating Maya projects, you can go to the File, Project window to create new project. Here you can see all the location and you can set manually the location and name of your project. Maya will automatically create all the necessary subfolders within the project folder. For example, scene, templates, images, source images, video folder, etc. So you don't have to create the manual names folder later on. The name of subfolders corresponded to what you should have saved into them. If you have to save any scene into the Maya application, you have an option called Ctrl S through the keyboard shortcut, or you can use the File and Save button to save all the scenes, to save all the files you are working on, save within all the scene folder of your project. You can use the Shift S to save a copy of that file also. Maya save the file into two formats. First is the Maya ASCII.ma and second is the Maya binary.mb. Many times you want to create different version of your scene file, so you can go back into the previous version also. For going with this feature, we have an option in Maya called the incremental save. So with the help of incremental save, you can also enable automatically saving preset interval by going Window, Setting and Preferences. You can hit onto the interval minutes how often to create a save new file. You can save the limitations of autosave also. To export your geometry from Maya application to some other application, here we have an option called Export Selection or the Export. So when you have to select particular object into the another format, then you can use the export selection, and when you have to export entire scene to other application, you can go with the export all option. By default, OBJ export option is disabled. In setting, you should go into the plugin manager and you have to check out the same to get access the facility of OBJ export into the Maya application. Viewport setting and the selection modes. To change how your objects are displayed within the viewport on the panel toolbar, go to the shading. Some of the options we have to display objects are 4 shortcut for wireframe, 5 for shaded, 6 for hardware texturing, 7 for lights. When you have to require the wireframe on shaded option, display wireframe outline or shading same time. With the help of this menu option, you can hit onto the same and you can get enable the wireframe on shaded also. If you have pressed 8 by accidentally, it will switch to the paint effect, so don't worry about the same. Again, come back to the perspective view and you can work onto the same application. So, a 4 shortcut for wireframe help you to see through your geometry into the display as an outline. When you hit the 5 button, your shaded display geometry color and the polygon knobs and the shading information you are able to get from the same. When you hit on the 6 shortcut, your hardware texturing, that means if you had applied any texture onto the model, you are able to see the same into the viewport. And with the help of 7, numeric keyboard button, when you hit onto the same, light would be enabled, and if you have create any lights into the viewport, now light also affect the model into the viewport, and you can see the real-time output into the viewport also.